Hi, Joe Warwick here, and I want to talk about energetic boundaries. Okay, so what I mean about this is your capacity to set boundaries before it gets up in your face. We often think about boundaries as something that is saying no and get away and piss off and all those things that we're aggressive, that's up in our face. But energetic boundaries is something about shifting the vibration around you so that you create more space so that people can't actually come in, first off, but also that you don't attract it. But if they do come in, that you're not triggered in the same way, that you see the benefit of it. When we have things come up into our face, it's showing us that we are not taking up enough space in the world. As an example, working with my client last night, she described it in the fact that, she'd been having this triggering situation with her husband's ex-wife, that sort of situation, a relationship that has been sort of just niggling because there's a boundary, and that was reflecting something in her. Now, she described when we shifted the work and she expanded and shifted her energetic boundaries, that she went from feeling like she had this tiny weeny little picket fence around her, so there was very little space, to feeling like she was in a massive clubhouse with bouncers on the door. And she didn't have to be defensive. She just knew that she had this space, these boundaries, and that she was in charge. Fundamentally, what changed inside her was this sensation of being strong, secure, having the ability to let in what she wants to let in. And those boundaries, of course, come up in any relationship that we have, whether that's in our business, whether that's our personal life. It's that how close do we allow others in, or if we're taking up space. And the more that we disown our internal power, the more that people can come in. Now, she said to me, Joe, your energetic boundaries must be like a football pitch. And yes, I take up big energy, big space, but also I can go the other way and have such firm boundaries that I don't let things in. That's been my lesson, to learn to soften my edges, because I was so strong at protecting myself that I got my boundaries too strong. My bouncers were like, fuck off, way out there. So I was taking up lots of space. And that can happen too if we've done so much self-love work and we're so aware of not wanting to get hurt again. We can create these very, very strong energetic boundaries as well. So then we wonder why we're not receiving. So this energetic boundary is also about, where is our energy? Is it in-house? Is it within us? Is it strong? Is it emanating, radiating, taking up space, so that we're a big fat, tire on our car? We're inflated, or a big balloon. We're full of energy, full of light, and radiating positivity into the world, and open to then receiving, because people can't take from us when we're taking up that space. Yeah. So there's lots to give. We don't feel depleted. We feel amazing. So there's the bit of taking up space. There's also being too firm in your energetic boundaries so that you're not allowing things in. And number 3 is about leaking boundaries. Where are you leaking? Where do you have, if you imagined a reservoir full of energy and yet there's cracks in the reservoir where you're leaking water? Where is your energy leaking where you don't know? And that can often be shown up around money, where we have leaky boundaries. And one of the topics that we really dived into last night is that balance between boundaries and guilt and receiving money. They all interlink. So where we get this sort of debt relationship with money is all based around boundaries and energetic boundaries. Now, is this sounding curious and interesting to you? Well, this is a subject I could talk about a lot and the power of it. And I really learned this from the first phase for me was coming into my body and learning how to have physical boundaries and then energetic boundaries. As someone who experienced, a lack of boundaries growing up, and that was physically seen because I would hit myself on stuff, but also, I experienced abusive environments, trauma, etc. So I had to learn how to create boundaries. And so I got very strong and good at them. And I did things like martial arts. So I learned to do how to create physical boundaries, and particularly learning to take up space and take up more presence and be in my body, that embodiment element, and then how to project my energy and soften and allow those boundaries. So we just let it to be softer. I'm just going to smile because you can hear lots of cheering in the background. I'm in Cambridge and there's a big boat race going on, so super fun. So if this is sounding interesting, if this is resonating, if this is triggering, you're in the right spot, and I'm really excited to be able to share with you. Particularly, it's 11:11 today, which is amazing, and we're in this big portal, which is all about new beginnings and allowing these transitions and changes so that we come into our strength and our power. I've been doing an activation which you can still grab in the link in my bio if you want to do it, which is amazing. The new you, it was very powerful, very beautiful, and will help you release some of the blockages. But more importantly, you'll find in there, I've opened up the waiting list. It's coming very soon, but don't miss out. I've opened up the waiting list to join for my energetic boundaries masterclass that I'll be hosting. So make sure to head to the link in the bio or drop me a DM if you are really interested in setting better energetic, physical, personal boundaries into your business, into your life, particularly as well around how boundaries affect your business in creating better relationships with your clients, setting those boundaries. But the differences between setting clear verbal boundaries and energetic boundaries, which mean you have to do very little work about those boundaries, and you get to sell, attract and receive from a much softer, easier way because you're setting better boundaries. So if that sounds good, head to the link in my bio. Have a beautiful weekend wherever you are, and I will see you soon.